Hola, this is Catherine Rump, and today we're going to be learning how to talk about stem-changing verbs in Spanish. Our pregunta esencial, or the essential question is, ¿Cómo usar los verbos de cambio raíz? Or how to use verbs that are changing their stem. Objetivos: estudiantes repasan la conjugación de verbos y estudiantes usan verbos de cambio raíz en frases en español. Our objectives are students review the conjugation of verbs and students use verbs that are stem changing in sentences in Spanish. Let's start with our review. Repaso. Verbos de AR, ER, IR. So remember that there are three kinds of verbs in Spanish: AR, ER, and IR. We have hablar, comer, and escribir as our examples. And remember, to get the stem of our verb, we drop the AR, ER, or the IR. So now we're left with habla, come, and escribe as the stems to our three verbs. To conjugate AR verbs, we've dropped the stem. Now our next step is to add the ending that shows who is doing the action, and it matches our subject. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Let's continue with our ER verbs. Comer, our stem, com, we have yo, como, tú, comes, él, ella, usted, come, nosotros comemos, vosotros coméis, ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. And finally, our IR verbs. For escribir, we have yo escribo, tú escribes, él, ella, usted escribe, nosotros escribimos, vosotros escribís, ellos, ellas, ustedes escriben. Ready to move on for our stem-changing verbs? Let's move ahead. Stem-changing verbs have three steps when we conjugate. First is to drop AR, ER, or IR, just like we did before. Then, our new step is to change the stem as needed. And then we'll add the ending to show who does the action, matching the subject, just like we did before. Let's take a look at changing the stem as needed in action. There are three types of stem-changing verbs: E to IE, E to I, and O to UE. The final verb, jugar, is in its own category, U to UE. We're going to do our example, querer, which is an E to IE verb and means to want. We drop ER, leaving behind our stem, quer. We change our stem to quier, Q-U-I-E-R. Notice that we replaced the letter E with the new letters I-E. And now we'll add the correct ending. So we have yo quiero, tú quieres, él, ella, usted quiere, no, ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren. Nosotros queremos, and vosotros queráis. So you see, something special happens here. Nosotros and vosotros do not change their stem. They stay the same. If we were to draw a boot shape around the stems that do change, you'll see that nosotros and vosotros are left outside. So stem-changing verbs are also sometimes called boot verbs. Let's do another example. Jugar, to play. We drop AR left with our stem, jug. we change our stem to J-U-E-G, jueg, and now we add our correct ending for AR verbs. Yo juego, tú juegas, él, ella, usted juega, ellos, ellas, and ustedes is juegan. And remember our rule for nosotros and vosotros, they do not change their stems. So we have nosotros jugamos and vosotros jugáis. Bien. You ready to try some on your own? Here are your examples to try on your own. Notice that you have your subject and the verb telling you its meaning and how to change its stem. Looking at the bottom where you have preferir, to prefer, E to IE, it tells you right below the closest syllable to where AR, ER, or IR dropped away is the syllable where you're changed. So in the case of preferir, it's not this first I, but rather it's not this first E, but rather the second E that you'll be changing from E to IE. Pause the lesson here and try these examples on your own. Let's review your answers. Yo sirvo la pelota. I serve the ball. Ellas devuelven la pelota. They return the ball. Ella puede ganar. Can she win? Nosotros perdemos el partido. We lose the match. ¿Qué prefieres tú? What do you prefer? Notice that in the case of nosotros, we did not change our stem. Are you looking for some more practice now that you've learned about stem changing verbs? Check out these 4 videos from Senor Jordan where he reviews E to IE, O to UE, E to I, and our verb jugar. Here are the references for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and thank you so much for listening. Adios!